The theme that I was asked to work on was inclusion. And so I went through a series of ideas about how to visualize something so complex in one image. I ended up coming up with the idea of using hands, and hands that could be creating symbols, that could be doing active things like dancing or gesturing or talking with one's hands or doing any number of human activities. And some are much more specific to certain kinds of movements related to people. And then, as is typical in a lot of my work, I wanted to also use pattern and use pattern to signify a number of different complex ideas that and that it could be read in a number of different ways. So for instance, there is a section at the top that are these lines that are repeating and sort of marking this linear pattern that goes from one line to the next, and each line kind of affects what the next line will do. And I was thinking about something like a fingerprint, something like tree rings. So it could be indicative of something like growth, of something like identity, but it can have multiple readings, depending on who's looking at it and what their interpretation is. I've been thinking about the impact that artists have, which is really important, but the impact that everyone has. Anytime you can have a dialogue about how you see an image, I think it's really important, and I think that's a really important part. And I think it's something that artists have to talk about as well. We can't just say, well, here's my image and enjoy my thoughts on this, or whatever you can get out of it. Like, we have to talk to people about it as well, and what the different images mean and how they can be used for good. I think that education part is really important. So I'm really excited that there will be art as such an integral part of the new education center, because it will open that dialogue and start a lot of discussions about how images are used and how artists take part in all this, and how anyone can take part in it by looking at art and discussing it and talking about it.